But see, what the thing is, since Cheyenne and Jen have seen us at like our blow up thing, you can use that as a tool now to be like, see what happened to them? Keep messing up. This has been One Set.
What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One Set.
How was your weekend, man?
Dude, wow. Where to begin? Oof. Let's go through your weekend first, because I have a laundry list of things, and it's not all exciting or fun or pleasant. So, let's talk about you on the water first.
Because not that Saturday wasn't anything interesting. We just had a family party, and one of Jen's relatives. It was 15-year-old birthday party. So Italian birthday. Everybody and their mothers go out to a birthday party. Food,
Sure.
out the galore. So good times. Little guy got to go outside and play some sports and everything. So it was cool.
It was beautiful weather, like throughout the weekend. It was real nice. For those of us that are watching, maybe internationally, we are in southeastern Pennsylvania in the beginning of March right now, and it is delightfully mild right now, right?
Yeah, we're getting that intermission or break in between like winter and spring weather. Like we're gonna be starting to get these like up and down like 40s to 60s, 70s, then back down to the 40s and 50s until probably about next month, I think.
I mean, we haven't even had like a solid snowstorm at all. We've had like some flurries here and there, but
which I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm like I've said many times on this show that I don't mind when it's cold if it's snowing. If it's not snowing and it's cold, whoopsie, me off. So it's like useless.
Waste, right?
Wastadores.
Yeah, wastadores. Los wastadores.
Los wastadores.
Shout out to our buddy Frank Manzo, right?
Yes,
actually, an inspiration for us to be doing what we're doing.
Yes, definitely one of the many inspirations for us putting this show together, and like actually for both of us getting in front of a camera.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But no, so yesterday, Sunday, being that this is coming out Friday, so this past weekend I got to go out on the water for a little while, because probably not going to get on the water till maybe sometime next month, probably near the end of next month, maybe. So got out on our local stream that has a I'm talking to those who may not know the area. We have a fly fishing only section that connects to the creek area around here, and I was in there. They just got it freshly stocked, so was in there for a little while. Did pretty good. It started off slow, and the Friday 2 days before, we had a decent amount of rain. So usually I've been good at like pinpointing when to go, and now I usually don't mind if there's a rainstorm. Like going the day before or the day after like a big rainstorm, that water would have been like chocolate milk. But Sunday it was still a little like off color, but not really muddy. Yeah, they call it chocolate milk, so it's funny. I'm giving you the lingo and the terms as I'm talking.
All good. Thank you.
But yeah. But yeah, I think today, and trying to keep in respect, would have been Monday, which is today. Obviously, but since we're putting us down on Friday. Today probably would have been a good day too, because you would get that much more, the off color. Sunday it was very chalked up, but you can still fish. Obviously, you can still catch in there. You just have to know what fly selection you usually use. I think in those type of situations, the darker the better, instead of using a lot of brighter colors. And a lot of the tips are usually to use a lot of like streamers or bait fish, because that's when usually the bigger fish are coming out and hunting for a lot more bait fish to eat. So sometimes you can get away with getting bigger fish. I didn't hook up with a big fish, unfortunately, but I had my handful of fish that I caught. And when I say fish, I'm usually saying trout. So, and then I went down to a limestone creek around here, and it's a public creek, but for those that try to conserve a lot of the area, I'm not going to say an area, but it's Valley Creek. I'm not going to tell you where I was, but it's a public area. If you want to go look at it, go type in Valley Creek, Google it, find out. But that's a very, very hard creek for any type of experienced fly fisher. I only landed one, and it was funny. I'll tell you a funny story. So I was coming up on the section that I usually start at, and there was a guy on there, and he's like, well, I'm about to head out anyway, so feel free to, take the spot. There's a fish rising right over there. Again, to anybody, not knowing any fly fishing lingo, when they say a fish is rising, usually it means that they're coming up to the surface, eating, a fly or their actual food source off the top of the water. So he's like, yeah, I see a fish over there, rising. Hey, try to go catch it, because I've been, putting everything in front of this dude, and it's not taking anything. So in my head, I'm like, well, I'll go try it, but I doubt it's going to catch. If you're having a hard time, I'm definitely going to have a hard time. So he leaves. 5 minutes later, fish on.
You were like, miss me.
Miss me. I'm like, you didn't catch this thing, but I'm about to catch this.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. But
So
no, it was
good.
cool. And I'll put a little picture up right here of the fish that I caught. So, I love going there because the colors on these fish, they're wild trout. So, so the term of wild trout are that they're not necessarily like born here, but they were once. I really can't remember the terminology, but they're not stocked fish. They weren't like fed and bred in a little tank, so they were like freely, produced in the waters in there. So, and I won't get it. Maybe another podcast will get into like, lingos of like stocked and wild trouts and everything. But no, like the colors on these things are what made me like really want to continue to go and fish for wild trout, because the colors on them are so much more, brilliant, and like it's like once you see them, it's amazing. You'll never want to catch another fish. So, and I think it was my personal best. I think it was at least like, and with that, when you go down the valley, you really don't get too many big fish, but I've been hearing there are a lot of big fish in there, but I've never really caught a lot of big ones. Probably about 8-10 inches. So nothing too like really to be like, bragging about, but this one was definitely about 12, I'd say. So I was like, ooh, I mean, it's a decent size. So I was proud of myself.
You never want to go fishing again because of that one fish that you're like, yep, I got that, and that's it. Or what doing?
Well, if that was my last outing ever, I'd have been happy.
Okay. Awesome.
See.
Okay, bueno. Yeah.
Okay, bueno. So, yeah, like I've told you before, I mean, when I'm out, I usually like to try to do like a full day instead of like a couple hours, because I don't get many times during the week since I'm working, and, being a dad, being husband, all that stuff, and trying to do music, be here with my buddy doing the podcast. I don't get too many times to fish as much as I used to. So when I go out, I try to do a full day and get my money's worth for that full day.
For sure. Absolutely.
Let's talk about this cool weekend. Let's talk about this cool weekend you had. It seems like you had a little beach time this weekend.
Yeah. My cousin has a beach house in Rehoboth, Delaware. And like we couldn't finesse like the right timing for me to get down there when they could get down there. It just didn't match up. But I was like, I want to go for my birthday. I want to go. So my parents, me and Cheyenne, and my younger sister Carly, the 5 of us went, and it's weird. You want to do a thing for yourself, right? I am going to try my to not like complain when I project this, but I was like, hey, this was my idea. I wanted to do this for me. And then it suddenly became about everyone else and what they wanted to do. Right. My sister has like a shopping addiction. And she won't hate me for saying it because it's absolutely true. But it kind of took over the weekend. It was kind of like, hey, I want to go here. I want to go here. I want to go here. I was just like, and then I woke up yesterday morning because we're recording this Monday night. So Sunday morning, woke up in the hotel room. Checkout was at 11, so 9:45. Cheyenne was like, this is what I want to do today. Go. Laundry list of things. I, hey, not blasting anyone, but I'm sure you understand. And you've been there. Where it's like,
100%.
I want to do this, and it's like, oh, by the way, what did you want to do today? I was like, let's get through your so that we can.
I was just going to say, what do you want to do? Can I just take a for 5 minutes? Like, that'd be great. If I could
Yeah. And it was like, she was like, oh, you want to wear this? 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 I was like, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then it was like, like snort, shoulders,
snort. Yeah.
And it was like, oh, well, I'm not rushing you or anything, but I was like, hey, checkout's at 11. The room is paid for until 11, so mind your business.
Yeah. Mind your business. Mind your business.
Yeah. I think the weekend was like very wow. It was just a lot different because we had not just our dog, but my parents had their 3 Yorkies because we found a hotel that like was dog friendly that allowed for them. But my parents didn't train their dogs to be quiet. So they just bark whenever they want. Whenever.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Yeah.
Meanwhile, shut up, Ryan Regan.
Yeah. So let's segue into this next couple of things that happened.
Let's go for it.
I was sitting out on a bench while people were shopping because that's what the weekend was all about, right? So I had Cheyenne's dog, who is trained. He's amazing. And it was his first time at the beach. So I'm just holding him and he's just being a good dog, smiling at all the people walking by. And then my dad's over here with the 3 Yorkies, and at least one, if not 2 of the 3 of them are like carrying on. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And it's a wonder how none of our neighbors haven't just shot us dead by this point, because it's 9:30 p.m., 11:30 p.m., 1:30 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 7:30 a.m., and when they're getting taken outside, they're just yelping. I'm like,
So it's like you have a kid, yeah.
Oh, interesting. If the neighbors didn't hate us already, we're just giving them more reason to hate us. And my parents just don't care. I'm that kind of person where I'm very much like, could we do something about that? And they're just like, we don't give a flying whoopsie at all.
No.
Like,
honestly, when I get my parents' age too, I will not give a about what anybody thinks. That's why I'm getting it. That's why I'm getting all of my anxiety about that out now, so I can really not give a when I'm like 60, 70 years old.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, so this one passerby, Homo sapien, Samaritan, whatever you want to call them. Now, I was with Cheyenne's dog, so I was like, oh, we're good. And I didn't hear this exchange, but this person walking past was like, oh, these ankle biters. And then Cheyenne, because she can't help herself, just was like, react, said something back. And after the fact, she was like, did you just, I was like, actually, no, I didn't hear. I didn't witness it. I was here with our good boy, right? She was like, we can't believe, okay. So I told her, I get these kind of semi-violent like images in my head after things happen where it's like, wow, what if I just, and I'm not going to go into detail because it's not appropriate, but sometimes
I know what you mean though.
yeah, I think these things and I'm just like,
what if?
How about if, yeah. So fast forward, we were making a stop at a restaurant that had like a dog friendly patio, so we stopped there before we got on the road and left. And this couple, like, I was sitting here, like you're sitting there looking at me, but behind me was another couple, and Cheyenne was just like, they're over here giving the server just such a hard time, like. And she worked in the restaurant industry before, so I was just listening and understanding.
Yeah.
But it was to the point where our server, which was their server, was gone for like 20 minutes. And I was just kind of like, I want a glass of water. That's it. Like, just something so simple. But they were consuming the server's time and just complaining to no end, right?
Yeah.
And then we got our check. I signed it, and the dude got up and tried to make an announcement. Can I have everyone's attention, please? Like, try to make a huge spectacle of it, right? And yeah. And
here we go.
And I feel like your wife would have reacted the same way that Cheyenne would have, because she just put her foot down and was like, no, absolutely not. You are not bashing the people that work here because you had a glass of water, half empty, and then there was a little tiny fly in it, and then you wanted to complain.
Yeah. Miss me.
Yeah, miss me. So it got really ugly real fast. And I have never been one to get up and be like, yeah, you better shut your no. It was because their time was consumed behind me for 20 minutes, and my girlfriend sitting across from me was like, we just want to get our check and leave and get on the road.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then the dude decided to stand up and say, attention everyone, and try to blast. And she was like, no, I'm not having it. Real weird, real out of character for me. I got up and I was like, what are you doing? And then the guy's girlfriend was like, oh no, man. And I was like, no, don't play the victim after you just played that pity party nonsense. And then I took the broom. I was like, sweep, get the F out of here. Goodbye. and then when I sat down,
ladies and gentlemen, these are the moments that people wait for us to have. Because it takes a lot for me and Jim to blow up. And when we blow up, watch out.
Dude, I absolutely, when Cheyenne got back to the car, because what happened was I took a Kino and she was like, go to the car. And then when I went to leave, because we were in a patio, like I said, outdoor patio. And I ran into the people that were trying to complain. I'm like, oh, you're still here. Why didn't you leave yet? I started sounding off on them again.
You're already at level 30, so you might as well just take it up. You're like, why are you still here?
I was like, wow, where's your car? Do you not have one? Can you leave? Wow.
Here's 50 cents. They take the bus.
No, I absolutely lost it. And because Cheyenne was like,
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see that.
Dude, I when she got to the car, I was like, please just
go.
No, I was like, please just be okay with how I just was, because I'm not proud of it. But she was like, no, I'm actually just so upset about them and how they were. And she was like, I've never seen you blow up like that. And I was just
and that's what Jen says every time to me. She's like I never get to see you like that, so seeing you like that, I know when to kind of pull back or be like, whoa, not that she likes to encourage me to be like that, but I've told you many times, I used to not be a very aggressive person, and she kind of not brought it out at me in a good way to kind of start speaking up for myself and saying certain things like that. So when just a couple weeks ago at the gig that I had, and certain things in the past with the music, I started speaking up for myself, and she would be in that same way. She's like, I've never seen you act like that, and I mean, I'm glad that you're starting to at least pick up for yourself and stay when things are wrong instead of just brushing it under the ground.
Yeah, there's a balance, right? I feel like you and I would just brush everything under the carpet all the time. It's just like, oh, okay, this shit sucks, right? And then no, there are moments where it's like, no, you got to put your foot down and you got to speak up and you got to stand up for yourself and you got to be strong. You have to have a backbone, right? I don't think this was that moment. I think it was just more so, if I'm being 100% honest, it's you compartmentalize everything and then you just explode all at once.
Yeah.
So I think this was that moment, and I was just like, oh, because I got to the car, I took Aquino back to the car, and I sat in the driver's seat, and I was just like, am I proud of myself about that? Was that okay? Am I ashamed? Was that ugly?
It's like we literally black out when these things happen too. Like, wait, what happened? Like,
yeah, because you would have to ask Cheyenne, like word for word, what I said, because I don't remember most of it because I just got lost.
Yeah,
I was just like,
I do the same thing.
I'm done.
I'm liable to say anything. Like,
no, I mean there were 2 other tables, and that couple left, which means they walked out of the tent. Wow. Oh God, this is you're gonna love and hate this at the same time. I said, don't let the door hit you in the so I was like, oh wait, there isn't a door. Just leave.
that's great.
Yeah, because it was
all that needed was a mic drop.
it was like one of those roll-up tents. And I just kept like doing the sweep, brush, get out of here. Whoopsie. Leave. Bye. There were 2 other tables.
Apollo, the same men from the Apollos, like sweeping people off the off the stage, like get the fuck out of here. Woo! Get him, Sam, man. Get the fuck out of here. Oh man,
dude, I can't. Like, I was like 50% proud of myself because I stood up to them, and 50% like, wow, I'm a piece of crap right now. I was like half ashamed and half proud of myself because I was like, no. These people were giving that server so much.
Yeah,
and when Cheyenne got back to the car, she told me, she was like, the server and the manager both thanked her. They were like, we get this kind of stuff all the time. And I like, and they were like, I can't thank you enough for sticking up for us. And I was just like, wow, being a server, working in the service industry, for you bartenders, waitresses, waiters, I don't know how you do it. And I
wouldn't be able to do it either.
I commend you, honestly, because I mean, when we go out and we see stuff like this happen, it's just like, what did they do to deserve that? Right? It's just wild to me, right? Because once they walked out and they didn't let the door hit them in the ass on the way out, I spoke to the rest of the room and I was like, I apologize for like acting aggressively, and I hope the rest of you have a better rest of your day. But what was happening behind us, unacceptable, and I was compelled to act on it and say, hey, this is inappropriate. Come on. Treat people with common decency. And if you're not going to be that way, I'm going to give it right back to you. Right?
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that's what it was. I mean, and that's why Cheyenne was like, no. You're not going to say, can I have your attention, please? Because they were trying to shut down the service that they were being had. And she was like, no. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
And okay. Here's what happened. Because I remember this part. They said, attention, everyone. And then she acted, and then I stood up, and the girl was like, we're not talking to you. I was like, I'm part of everyone, by the way. If you're addressing everyone, I am part of everyone. So I am responding back to you. And then they shut up real fast. And I was like, whoo. Yeah,
God, this was a great weekend for you.
it was wild. I was just like, I just wanted to come in here and have a beverage with Cheyenne and our dog before we got on the road and drove home. And this nonsense started happening. And I'm sitting, like, it's happening behind me, right? So Cheyenne's sitting in front of me, but she's seeing it around my ears, and she's apologizing. She's like, I'm so sorry. There's like stuff happening right behind you. And then when when they stood up and said, can I everyone, can I, and she started it. I don't want to blame her, but she started it. She was like, no, you're not doing this. Absolutely not. And then I got up. I stood up. I was like, yeah, what are you doing? And that's when everything just began. And then they got quiet. And then I was like, no. Don't play the victim. Don't act like I'm attacking you. You started this. And it got real ugly. It got super ugly. And then signed her check. She was like, all right. Because she never seen me get like so worked up before. She's like, can you take Aquino and go to the car, please? And on my way out, that's when I saw them. And I was like, you're still here. You're still here.
Oh my God, honey, he's back.
And then she snuck up behind me and was like, go to the car, because she didn't want
go to the car.
She didn't want anything to get like physical, but I was just like,
yeah,
no, I told you, leave, stop it, get some help, dude. Wow.
Oh man, yeah. I would have paid significant amount of money to be a fly on the wall to see that go down. Oh my God, that's incredible.
You have to reach out to Cheyenne, because she's probably never seen me worked up like that ever, because I've never felt so worked up in public. Yeah. Right?
we got to get the ladies on to talk about those two different type of scenarios where they saw us or seen us like blow up and they're like, whoa.
Well,
so we definitely need to get them on.
So next watch along, by the way, in case we were wondering, is probably Anger Management with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson, because he literally contains himself and he acts like nothing's wrong and then just blows his gasket, right? And I feel like in that moment I was like, that's me and Anthony, because we try to maintain our composure, and then all of 100%. a sudden we black out, we're gone, and it's like, wow, it's amazing that we're alive still, right?
Yeah. Goose Fraba. Yeah.
So that was essentially the weekend. Other than I ruined dinner Saturday night. And
well, I wouldn't say you ruined it. I would definitely say you made it more entertaining. Just
no, my part of what I was saying earlier was
oh, you're still here?
We're still talking about this? Really?
Listen, sir, I don't want any trouble.
Hold up, right?
Hold up.
Yeah,
what your ass say?
What your ass say?
Oh my God.
Nope. And part of what I was saying earlier was like, I knew I wanted to go to the beach this weekend. That was like something I wanted to do for my birthday, but it just generally seemed like everyone else was planning their agenda and saying, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this.
But did you get on the beach at all, or?
Yeah, we did.
Good.
And I mean, the whole thing for Cheyenne too was, Aquino's never been on the beach. So
Right.
that was an exciting thing, except for he started having like cardiovascular issues, like he was coughing and hacking, and it's because his nose is in the sand. So we think we think he had sand just caught in his throat,
lodged. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it was
especially that salt air too. If you're not used to it.
Yeah,
especially I guess for an animal too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, woke up Sunday morning and she was like, "I want to do." I was like, "Okay, cool.
Okay,
so you have your agenda for the day, right? You've lived it, right?"
But see, what the thing is, since Cheyenne and Jen have seen us at like our blow up thing, you can use that as a tool now to be like, see what happened to them? Keep messing up. This has been one set. Oh man. For anybody who's watching the audio portion, Jim just threw his headphones off in the matter of laughing at everything. Oh my god.
Yeah, keep messing up. All right.
New t-shirt design coming for you guys. Keep messing up.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Get up, right?
And it'll just be the slap hand emoji. Keep whoopsie up. Print it.
Print.
It'll be in the store next week, guys.
Yeah. If you want to vote for, we're going to start a poll for what kind of merch, decal topics you want to see.
Yes.
That's not votable. That's happening.
Absolutely. That one's not going to be on the poll. That one's definitely happening.
That one is on the website. It's happening.
But yes, that sounded like an awesome weekend, and I totally forgot. Friday, I actually got to go over to an open mic over at a local venue, Marty McGee's, and the Delco Quarantine Open Mic Facebook page has been having an open mic there once a month, every month, since the beginning of last year, maybe the springtime of last year, and they just had their last one this past Friday night. So I was kind of, hesitant to go. I was thinking about going. I'm not sure if I was going to be able to go, depending on what the night was. The rain that night was supposed to be like really bad. It didn't turn out to be too bad, but I went there, played a set. I was going to just go there and hang out with people there, but there was actually a 9:00 set that opened. Shout out to Mark. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. He wasn't feeling too well, so I saw the slot was open, and I'm like, hey, if it's still open, because it was posted like 4 hours ago when I saw it, and I'm like, hey, if it's still open, I'll take it. And then they gave me the slot, so I got there a little before 9, and usually those things run a little late, so I didn't get on stage until about 9:30, 9:45. Played 3 songs. Played your favorite. Started off with "In Your Eyes." Everybody loved that one. I played Rihanna by Fleetwood Mac, and ended with "All on the Watchtower" by Jimi Hendrix.
Nice.
So, because last time I played there with the open mic, I did an all original set because I was basically just trying out my original set that I was playing later that month for their festival, which I think they're trying to do again this year, just in a different venue. There have been talks of, them going to another venue with a bigger open space. So we'll be in talks with them. I mean, depending on where it is and when it's going to be, I would definitely love to be a part of it again, because it was such an awesome day. Being able to just, be around such great local talent and, just being part of the community. It's, it was a great day to kind of just, not only just be an artist, but watching other friends play and, just sitting back, eating, having a couple beers, drinking, talking with people. So that was a good day. So this time I felt like, let me just do some covers, and I brought my loop pedal set up and everything, because I hadn't done that in a open mic setting. I always thought it was going to be a little difficult because I have a full pedal, and usually they only give you like a very small slotted time. So usually I'm used to just going up there with a guitar, vocal, boom, sing it, get off really quick. But with that, about the person that goes before me, I start setting everything up and I put it onto my pedal board. So then when I get up there, all I have to do is just plug everything in, tell them this is my main cord, plug it into the PA, bam. So it's a quick turnaround. So then I'm not like sitting there fiddling with everything. I've seen people with like 5 or 6 pedals, no pedal board, but these guys come up there and individually put their pedals down and have to connect every single one before they play. I'm like, dude, you need a pedal board.
Like, come on, like, what doing, right?
Right, what you do?
What you do?
Come on, baby.
Oh, come on, baby. Oh, come on, yeah.
But no, it was awesome because I since I lost my gig last month, it felt good to get up on stage and be up there for a little bit just to get the show jitters out of my system, because I'm not sure if I'll be able to get out and play again for a little bit. So maybe I'll pop up on an open mic again, maybe sometime this month or next month, just if I'm feeling that like jitter to kind of get out and play. If I don't have a show already booked, maybe I'll just get out and go to a local open mic somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like, wow, I always think about when I was coming home from Limerick. I think it was a couple years ago, and you called me, or we were on the phone, and you were like, I had like the best night out. And I think it was like really post-pandemic, where like everyone was kind of like getting back together, but you were like, I felt so validated, and I feel like everyone kind of knew who I was. And it's not why we do it, but we definitely yearn for not the popularity, but for people to know us, right?
Right.
So I really felt like I almost cried happy tears for you when you told me that. You're like, dude, it was awesome. Like, people knew me.
It was a good feeling.
Yeah. I will never not think about that. And it was so cool.
Yeah. Because like you just said, I mean, it feels like, sometimes you get those things of like, do people really, know me as a musician? Do people realize what I do? Do people like me in that type of sense? Do I fit in? And, because sometimes I always feel like I don't fit in with a lot of things. And like, I feel like I'm either like a third wheel or just like trying to like force things to fit in with people. But, when I even went up there this past Friday, people come up to me, hey man, how you doing? But actually, like, people like happy to see me, and like, that I saw at the festival, and I made friends there, and people in the music scene, they're coming up to me, I'm coming up to them, talk with them. So I'm like, and I'm like cracking jokes with this one guy that I met, and we're just cracking jokes with things around the area, talking music and everything. And I'm when I get down on myself thinking that I feel like I don't fit in with things, but then when I have those moments, I'm like, I really do. I think people do know me for what I do. I do fit in. It's just unfortunate I don't get to go out as much as I want, which I mean I'm okay with. But when I have those doubts, I always have those moments like this past weekend. I'm like, I do fit in. I do feel appreciated for what I do.
Yeah. For anyone out there that's watching, and you should be, even though we're 45 minutes in almost. Anthony has openly, and I hope you don't hate me or kill me for saying this, has openly expressed to me how much he thinks I'm the cool one. And I always think back to when we were in Ocean City and you were like, let's go talk to these girls. And I was just the,
yep.
Wow, what's the word? Can I say it?
Whoopsie.
I don't know. I was so not confident in my skin, and Anthony was just like, "No, let's just go do it." And that was 15-year-old Anthony, and he has been like that ever since, and he is still like that. And
I don't know what made me feel that type of way that night, but again, and I will always say that to you. Like I always, looked up to you growing up with our friendship. I always looked up to you, and
please.
I know you do not agree with that, but just something always made me feel like I felt like I was always looking up to you, and and everything. But like how we said on our off air before, but that night, I'll always remember for us kind of like being like something in our like, because we were both like very not outspoken, but one of us obviously had to be that night, and somehow it was just me. And I guess it had to be something on the fact that because I always hated being rejected when asking people to dances and stuff, and I started saying to myself, well, hey, the worst thing to say is no. And I guess that night I thought of it. I'm like, well, what's the worst thing? We're probably never going to see these people again. So,
right. And you were just so forward and confident. And I was just like, who is this guy? Because it's not the guy that I go to school with. Like, honestly. But you were just on a whole other level. And I was just like, no, he's who I want to be. And
God, long story short, people, we didn't land any girls. We ended up having fun in the foam pit that night. And we had a great time.
Sweep.
Yes.
On that note, this has been one set, everyone.
Yeah. That's gonna be the title of this episode. Sweep.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Wow. We caught up on the weekend. We didn't even talk about wrestling or sports or none of that. I think we said we wanted to take a break from that, right? For this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a lot of that coming soon. We're on the road to WrestleMania, so I think we want to try to save a lot of our build-up for maybe the week or two before, because it looks like and again, we're usually keeping our eye on Raw when we're taping this on Monday nights. I'm not sure if you were watching it as well, but I just saw that Jey Uso turned his back on Sammy tonight. And so now he's back in the bloodline. So this story is just on fire right now.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I can't.
I think, and I would hope that we can talk about Triple H having his hands on the creative and making the storylines interesting.
Yes.
Right now, I think, my oldest sister, Miss, sent me, and maybe you can plug this in. It was Santino Marella having the snake.
Yeah.
And Jinder Mahal and God, what's the huge dude? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name.
K. But they were
K.
K. That's it. But they were both playing the whistle, and he was going this way and this way and this way and this way. And I opened that and I was like, this was when me and Anthony weren't watching because it was just that level of terrible. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
Straight up bad.
Santino was still wrestling when we started watching it again, but I think he was on his way out. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was, I mean, I'm excited for this WrestleMania. There's a lot going on, and
they're trying. They're doing a good job trying to make Cody Rhodes important. I just hate it. Like, I texted you right before we both came downstairs and jumped on here, where John Cena had to be like, "Oh, here comes Cody Rhodes, handshake, hug." I'm like, "Wow, you're really S-ing that D right now, aren't you?" I'm like,
right,
oh, God, come on. Like, they're trying so hard to make Cody Rhodes feel like, oh, yeah, he's that guy that's going to take Roman Reigns down. I'm like, he was injured and out for 6-8 months. I'm like, someone else had to be that person to take Roman down, because making it Cody now is just so obvious. I'm like, all right, you clearly were planning this for a year, right? I mean, I'm not bashing Cody. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but I'm like, why does anyone care? And they're trying so hard to make everyone care and make him feel like, yep, he's it. And they keep bringing up his dad, and I'm like, if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. Like, but it just feels so obvious that they're only bringing him up to make it personal and that level of importance. And I'm just like, no.
The big thing is just saying oh, his dad didn't really care about him. He cared about the other people that he, brought up, but he never talked about Cody and everything. So that's the fire that's lighting up Cody to be like, well, he may have never talked about it. He said, I have all this inspiration to really get what I want. You got to do what you got to do to make the match interesting. I don't love it. I don't hate it. At least they're not bashing Dusty in that way, but I mean, they're using it in a decent light. But I mean, like we said, I think coming into it, there wasn't really a solid storyline going into Roman and Cody's feud. You didn't know what they were going to do, so I guess this is the best that they came up with. I mean, that's what she had to do. I mean, from that first promo with him and Paul Heyman, I would definitely say that got me interested into at least wanting to watch the match. I'm definitely going to watch the match at this point. But yeah, I mean, I think obviously the better storyline is Sammy, but I still don't think Sammy's going to win either now, because I saw something today, and I don't even think this is going to happen at WrestleMania, because there's so much going on at WrestleMania, but somebody gave a good idea that I don't think it should be Cody. I don't think it should be even Sammy. I think Roman Reigns should be taken down by Jey Uso. It started with him and Jey Uso. It has to end with him and Jey Uso.
And I wouldn't hate that at all. I think that would be 100% perfect planning. Super well done.
I would not mind that happening. And we could probably talk about that in a elongated version at another time on how that probably happens, because I don't think they're obviously going to make a third match in WrestleMania, but something along those lines of maybe hinting at the fact. But from what happened tonight, that since Jey is basically saying that he's back in the bloodline because he kind of walked away from his brother, shook hands and hugged Sammy, and then I think probably gave him a with a little sweet chin music. And then, they started beating him down. Cody comes out to save Sammy. So obviously Jay is back with the bloodline as of now, unless he's kind of playing the two-parter with it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I could also see Jay getting mixed up with the match at WrestleMania and causing Roman the titles. And then maybe that leads to a Roman versus Jay. But I actually would keep the titles on Roman and have Jay take the belts off of him at SummerSlam. And then
I was thinking SummerSlam too.
Just crush the bloodline entirely.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, people are tired of it, right? I mean, it's a really well-built story. Like, they've done super well with it. And, like, 100% would never knock them for it. But they have to conclude it correctly, which is why I'm with you on, like, hey, let's get Jay to beat Roman. I would 100% love that. If Cody wins at WrestleMania, I'm just like, that just feels like it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Versus,
I'm still on the fact that Roman is not coming out of WrestleMania with both belts. I'm still sold on that I don't think he's coming out of WrestleMania with both belts.
Yeah, they're gonna work some way around. I mean, he dropped both belts in front of Cody and was like, "You ever win one of these?"
Yeah. Have you ever main evented WrestleMania? Blah blah blah. Yeah.
I mean, that promo was really well done. If you watch just like the facial, like the acting was just so well done. I mean, I just watched that promo tonight, and I was watching the first half of Raw, and I was just like, "Wow, okay, they're doing good, trying to build this and make it feel important."
Mm-hmm.
But I already felt like the John Cena Austin Theory match was way more important because, wow.
Oh yeah, I mean, anytime Cena gets on the mic, it's money. I mean, come on now.
That promo was just like, holy smokes. I was texting you like, oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, wow. I mean.
That was good.
Cena had the shovel. He's like, yeah, I'm out here burying people, and it's because you can't stay 6 feet above ground.
Get the yeah.
That, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Anything else to catch up on? Basketball, Sixers are
we got March Madness starting up next Sunday. They have the bracket, thing starting on Sunday. And then the first round starts that Thursday, the 14th, something like that. So
Pi Day.
My idea was Pi Day. Yeah. My idea, I wanted to try to do this last year, but we didn't get to, not necessarily talk about it, but we didn't really, think about trying anything with this last year. So maybe this year.
I think we were like 10 episodes in and just trying to figure it out still. So
yeah, we were just like, just get episodes in. So maybe this year, if you guys want to as well, I was thinking of starting a one-set NCAA March Madness bracket. So, maybe within this week for the next episode, we'll think about something to, everybody, put in a bracket. Doesn't necessarily have to be for money's sake, because I'm not much of a college basketball. I don't follow college basketball as much as I do NBA. Excuse me. So most of my picks are usually not like statistics and like this person, that person. I'm usually going off of teams that I know that I've picked in the past. And, the first round is usually hard because you got to usually pick a couple upsets because there's always about, 3 to 4 upsets in that first day. And a good amount of people lose it on that first day because of upsets. But, comment. Anybody wants to, join in, if we want to do a bracket, we will definitely, have everybody, submit brackets. We'll keep a log, and we'll do something at the end of the March Madness thing. Whoever gets the most correct or whoever gets the championship correct, maybe we'll do a prize for somebody. I don't know. What do you think, buddy?
Merch, absolutely.
Yeah.
If someone wants a hoodie, for whoever, I guess for whoever has the most correct bracket,
yeah,
they're gonna get a hoodie at least. That would be me for sure.
We'll think of like a hoodie, and we'll think of some other things we can probably do. But if anybody's interested, that'll be cool. Something that we're thinking off the dome. And if anything, we'll talk about it more next week, since when we record next Monday, the brackets will already be out. So maybe we can talk about maybe our bracket, and then if anybody else wants to, shoot in, we'll make a post about it and say they have to have it out by a certain time, because you can't submit a bracket after the first round starts. So
for sure,
we'll do a separate post, a separate video for that if we think of something. So
yeah. Anything else you want to touch base on before we check out of here? That's up to you.
I think we're good, man. This is a cool episode, and we got to catch up on each other's weekends. I would definitely say out of all, I think you've had the better weekend than me.
Did I? Yeah. Wow.
And on an entertainment aspect.
Jeez.
But nah. Always fun catching up. And
of course,
thank you all for tuning in for another episode. According to our analytics, we're getting a lot of people not only in the U.S. I think according to our Anchor FM statistics or analytics, Canada is our second top watched country. So I'm like, hey, Canada, thank you all for the listens. Hey, Canada. Yeah. In all seriousness, thank you all to all the listeners.
Absolutely.
U.S., around the world, whoever gives us a chance, even if it's 5 seconds. Thank you for tuning in. You know where to follow us. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button if you love the episode. If you've made it this far, throw those number ones in the comments. This has been another episode of One Set. My name is Anthony Irvin.
Jim Green here.
And we'll see you on the next one, guys.